Hey there, my Zaniacs. Welcome to Janie's Kitchen. I've got myself a pan heated up, and I'm going to make us some chili on a dime. Because, you know, who wants to go and spend 20 bucks at a fast food joint when you can spend right around 10 bucks and make yourself a pot of chili that'll last a few days. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get this meat cooking. Of course, I could have thought this a little better, but alright. If I can get it out of my bag, that'd be great. Okay. Now that I can grab the bottom of the bag, that's what I need. That's good food. We need to brown this meat, and then we're going to drain it. And what I'm going to add is some, I already have these chopped up. I have one smaller sized yellow onion and one sliced up green pepper. So I'm going to get on that, and I'll be back as soon as I'm ready to add those peppers. Alrighty, we are back with some ground beef. We are ready to add some onions and peppers. I already have this already chopped up, so I'm just going to toss that on there. Get the pieces that are stuck in a ball. My goodness. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to turn my heat down from 5. I'm going to turn it down between 3 and 4, I think. That way we don't want to burn the onions and peppers. We just want to start getting things mixed up. Let these all join together. Secret to this chili is to make sure you have all of your flavors nice and mixed well. I'm going to add a little bit of my sea salt. Just a little bit, not too much at first. And I'm also going to add some minced garlic in there, which I do not have the plastic removed off the cap first, so I'm going to throw about a teaspoon of it in there to start with, and we're going to see later if I need more garlic, but I always like to start small with it. So I will be back as soon as I am ready to put everything in this big old pot and get started. Now that I've got my garlic in there and I've been cooking for about a minute or so, what I want to do to make sure that the garlic doesn't burn and none of the peppers burn, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this from my heat, and I'm going to let it sit there in that hot pan for probably about 10 minutes. So I will be back as soon as I'm ready for my next step. Okay, there's Zaniacs. Welcome back. I've got my stuff been sitting here for a little bit, and I've got my nice big old pan heated up and back on 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be adding my camera strap apparently for one. I have to go left-handed. And tomato sauce. Can't have chili without tomato sauce. We want this nice and heated up. A couple of diced tomato cans. Smaller ones, of course. I could have bought one big one, but apparently a lot of people around here are making chili. And what I have here is 2 tablespoons of chili powder and 1 teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to start with that, and we're going to season around in here. I'm going to let that heat up. We're going to let that heat up, stir it all together. We're going to let the spices go on through before we add our meat and onion and green pepper. So I will be back momentarily. Okay, now we have ourselves to a small, tiny little bubble. We don't want a full-on boil. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my heat down once again, back between 3 and 4 again. I'm going to be adding all this meat and good stuff into my pot of sauce and tomatoes. So I'm going to put you over here. You can see what I'm doing. That way I can use both of my hands. That should do. I don't know. Maybe I should just keep that thing sitting there the whole time. I don't know. Okay, we're going to give it a good old stir. Let me pick you back up. Okay. We got a start of chili, but what's chili without beans, right? But right now, it's another time I'm going to let this stuff all come together and season it all by itself before I add my beans, because beans always go last because they're pre-cooked, they're already mushy inside the cans. Put that over there. I've already got them already drained out, ready to go. So as soon as I come back, we will be adding our beans and tasting to see if we need more seasoning. I think what I'm going to do right now is open this open. Okay, I'm going to be adding some of my Italian seasoning in here, just a little bit, you know, just to give some green. And I'm going to put my top on, and I'm going to let that sit in, let it all come together. So I will be back. And we are back, folks. I had to turn my heat down about halfway to between 2 and 3, somewhere in there, because it did start boiling in the middle. I did stir throughout in the middle, and I've let this stew on for about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my beans. You can't have chili without, well, I mean, you can have chili without beans, but not around here. We have to have beans. Lots of beans. Big old pile of beans, and just go ahead and stir them in there. Give this a nice chunky chili. Alright, so I'm going to take my spoon here, not this one of course, because I'm using this to stir. I'm going to take a taste of how well things are coming together. And of course this is going to be stewing for quite a bit more. My little spoon. I don't want too much. Okay, so I obviously need to add more seasoning. The garlic is good. Garlic is on point. I'm going to add just a few shakes of cumin. Kind of reaching underneath for some more chili powder. And some more of my Italian seasoning. Okay, now what I do for this part, since everything's in the pot, everything's stirred up, everything's just trying to stew together, I'm going to turn this down even more to right at 2. Well, actually, right, there we go. Right at 2. And I'm going to put my topper back on. And this pot's going to be going for about an hour before I even stir it or check it. So I'm just going to let it sit and go for an hour. And I will be back. And the last step that I don't see a whole lot of people do with their chili. Every time I see people, they finish their chili, it looks all nice and yummy and runny. Here's the thing. Let's get a good stir going here. If you take it off the heat and let it sit for at least a good 20 minutes, you're going to have a nice, thick, unsoupy chili. And that is the second key that I have for you in making chili. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my heat off completely. I'm actually just going to move the whole entire pan, so bear with me. Okie dokie. Now, I don't want to let it sit with the top on. That will keep things moist. What you want it to do is thicken up and dry out a little bit. So I will see you guys in about 20 minutes and I will show you my finished bowl of chili. Yum! Okie dokie folks, and here we have it, some thickened chili. It's not exactly as thick as I want it to be. Of course, it always gets completely so much more thicker when you put it in the fridge overnight. But if you're wanting to eat dinner, I don't suggest that. So here are my bowls of chili. Ready to go. See if I can get some close-ups here. Here we go. I topped them off with some soup crackers and cheese, shredded cheese. These are called oyster crackers, and fear not, they are not made of real oysters, just soup crackers. Anyway, you all have a good one. Stay zany and eat up. Bye, everyone.